What's up, everyone? Shank up right here. Today we're going to talk about what's going on in the charts, and McDonald's has decided to get into the metaverse. So let's dive right into it. So like I said, we always start with the big boy Bitcoin. So Bitcoin at the moment, right now it's still at this resistance right here. So we're still testing, this resistance. We're getting a bit of rejection. So actually right now the time is about 8:30 and the CPI numbers just came out. I haven't had a chance to actually look at them as yet because it just came out as I'm recording. And normally, regardless of what the data is, we normally have a knee-jerk reaction, so kind of a pullback. So it's coincidence that it's right at the resistance. That's what when we get the pullback. So let's see what happens throughout the day. But we are still at this resistance. We haven't broke down or anything, so nothing really has changed with that. Now, for what I'd like to show everyone is the Cbbi.info. So an individual called Colin created this. So Colin Talks Crypto, and he's been in the last two bull markets. And the last two bull markets, pretty sure he entered at the right time, but exited at the wrong time. So to help everyone and himself to get a good exit and lock in profits, he created this Cbbi metric. So it's kind of an index to show where we are in the Bitcoin cycle. So right now the Cbbi is showing 46%. So when it gets to 100, that means we're at the top. I'll probably sell way before 100, maybe at 85 or 90. So the Cbbi consists of different metrics. So the pi cycle indicator, RUPL, RHODL, Pure Multiple, 2-year moving average, Bitcoin Chololo, sorry guys, MVRV, reserve risk, Wooble, having to peak, and Bitcoin search term. So as you can see, normally whenever we're at the peak, the Cbbi, so this is the price action in these colors right here. Yep. And then the peak, so the right here is actually the index, so the confidence that we're at the top of the market. So right now we're not really, according to the Cbbi, we're not really at the top of the market. We're closer to here where it was in November of 2020 than anywhere else. So what I want to do is actually look at some of these metrics that he has. So we're gonna look at the pi cycle top. Actually, the first one I want to look at is the pi cycle top. So the pi cycle top has actually shown every top of Bitcoin since since inception of Bitcoin. So these are just two moving averages, and every time the moving averages touch and flip, we have a top in the market. So as you can see, actually, when we had in May of 2021, a lot of people, even myself, we saw this and we said, man, like it's too early to call a top. And what has happened? We had a 50% correction right after this happened. So the pi cycle top, again, it's reset, and so we don't have, we're not really close to crossing again. So should we move up again in price? So let me just zoom in here. Should we move up again in price? Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, should we move up again in price? I guess you can't really see the top here. So you can see when it touched, it said the top was around here. So it was off by a couple days. So this is a pretty accurate metric to use. But yeah, when Bitcoin moves up again, and it moves up rapidly, the moving averages should converge and touch again. And that's when, it starts getting closer to that. You'd want to start taking profits. Now this is the 2-year moving average multiplier. So normally when we're at the bottom here, it's a good time to purchase. So if you purchase anywhere here or along this line, it was a historically good time to purchase. When we got to the top of this band up here, it's normally a time to sell. So this is kind of similar to the log regression bands. Similar, like in the sense that anytime we get up here, is when you sell. So we're not we're closer to actually, it's a good time to purchase than sell. So it's a good thing to look at. Good insight, pretty cool. The MVRV Z score. So what this is, so I'll actually read it down here. So it's a score uses blockchain analysis to identify periods where Bitcoin is extremely over and undervalued relative to its fair value. So the reason why we talk about Bitcoin and I'm showing Bitcoin is because you have to know where Bitcoin is for when you're purchasing your altcoins. You can't be purchasing altcoins thinking that they're gonna 100x and 50x and 10x, and Bitcoin's on a downtrend and it's hit the top of the market. Because if Bitcoin goes down 50%, your altcoins are gonna go down 85, 93%, right? So right now we haven't reached the top here. So normally anytime a top has happened, we've reached the top, this right here, this red area. So we haven't reached anywhere there. We're closer down here to the lower band. So, it would be a better time to buy Bitcoin now than not. So the last time it was in this area, Bitcoin was about, I think it was about $10,000 or $12,000. And had you bought it in this area over here, you would have been perfectly fine seeing the rises and dips as we gone along. So yeah, so those are some of the metrics that this use. So I can put this in the description below, the cbbi.info, and you can add this to your tools when you're looking at when you should take profits and where we are in the market cycle. Now, all models in market cycle, all models for Bitcoin, they're just here to help guide us. It doesn't mean they're 100% accurate. So you always want to add other things to your chart, which we'll be discussing and I'll be showing. And other metrics, so you can kind of get a roadmap. You're never going to nail the top and you won't get the bottom, but you know what I mean? If you can catch a large percentage in between, that's all you need. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about as well is McDonald's is planning to open a restaurant in the metaverse. So basically what McDonald's is trying to do is they've registered 10 trademarks and they're going to open in the metaverse. So you'll be able to order your food in the metaverse and then it will deliver to your actual house. So I thought that was pretty cool news. McDonald's is an extremely large company, and buying metaverse plays right now I believe is like buying Bitcoin close to $1 or $2 or $5. Because metaverse is very new. And a lot of companies are getting into it. We have Nike, we have Adidas, and now we have McDonald's. We've had Sony, Sotheby's Real Estate. So you got to pay attention and watch what these guys are doing, because this is really just the beginning of the metaverse. Maybe most of the gains of Bitcoin are behind us, but for metaverse and a lot of these altcoins, a lot of these gains are in front of us. Maybe not in this cycle, but if we do get another cycle, and maybe the cycle moving forward is extremely longer, and it's the percentage gain may not be as much as it has been in the last cycles. I can say with confidence that cryptocurrency will gain in percentage faster than any other industry in the world for the next decade. So I thought this was some cool news to bring to your attention. So yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. This is your update on the markets, what's going on. Like and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more information. Thank you. Take care.